I always get started a little early.
Too early.
James Burnett.
What's up?
What's your middle name, by the way?
Oh, we ain't saying that on the air, no.
What's going on?
Nice try, though.
What's up?
Joshua, come jump in. Come so they can see you.
Hi, people. I'm over here.
Joshua's over there.
I'm gonna come.
Cameron's over there.
Put the cam on one time.
Can y'all just come over here? Y'all know I don't. Somebody told me I should consider buying like a little tripod thing so I can. Cameron's in the house. Cameron's in the
1, 2,
house.
check. 1, 2. 3. Let me put my phone off.
Oh, I'm gonna have to turn mine off. Y'all remember
Check.
that
1, 2,
incident?
mic.
Go ahead and do that now.
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Somebody already commented on it.
What are y'all liking it for? I haven't even done anything yet.
Well, just because you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You were just, oh my God. You want a date? You gonna stop telling me I'm cute.
You
There
should
we
be a
go.
gentleman. He's being a gentleman.
He is a gentleman.
Always.
Are you getting in, James?
I don't know. Am I in there?
No,
Did
you
you
need to
get
come
in?
over.
I gotta slide down. Okay.
I can do this, huh?
Oh, I'm sliding. Here we go.
Oh, you don't want to move it, right?
All right,
There we go.
There you go.
That gets everybody. They're gonna start thinking it's our show in a minute because they always see us. Come on, Joshua. Come on, Joshua. Let them know you're here. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for inviting us back again. I really do study for these. Like, when they tell me I'm coming, I'm like, all right, I get all my paperwork together, I study.
There's no need
I
to
get
study.
ready.
There's nothing to study.
Open discussion.
I want to make sure I have my facts straight so nobody comes back like, that girl, take her off, because she just be telling lies.
I'm not telling
Oh, look, before we get
lies.
started,
Don't
can I
lie
get
to
water
people.
or something?
Do not.
Huh?
Can I get a water?
Waterfall it.
Yeah, you asking things after hours. I don't know.
After hour last minute, I didn't think about it. I'm about to go on the
I can
air.
probably get you a cup.
That's
It probably
fine.
won't be a bar.
Praise the Lord.
You should have said no. I would have said no. Okay,
He's
while I got
such a
time,
nice
shout
guy.
out to Harmony Public Schools, Harmony Science Academy. It's a wonderful school. If you have not found a school for your kids, Harmony Science Academy is it. They are amazing. They got it's the school that you want to put your kids in forever and ever, like from the cradle to the grave is where your kids need to be at Harmony Science Academy. They'll take care of you. They got scholarships when they graduate. They got a college, y'all. So if you
to the news for something
that's so
good
Harmony
Did I see that?
Harmony got her singing a different tune.
that's my heart, y'all.
I'm a product
My
of Fort
heart.
Bend, so
But
I
were
don't
they in the
know.
news recently? No.
For great things. Have you seen our innovation in STEM?
Oh, that's so hard.
Don't worry about no. There's always gonna be haters.
Tell us about the innovation in STEM. Tell us about it.
Y'all,
Let them know.
y'all, our kids made a solar powered car from
they?
like fiberglass and plastic and zip ties or something like that, y'all.
I'm glad
I got
that
to
you
ride
know
in it.
You crashed it?
I did not crash it. I broke the Velcro a little bit because they don't make it for regular human beings. They make it for dwarfs. But these kids are little, like they're small, whatever. But anyway, yes, put your kids in Harmony Science Academy if you haven't already. Like I said, from the cradle to the grave, they got your kids. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you're such a diva.
So, are they gonna pay you for that shout
You are
out?
such a thing. They have already paid me, sweetheart. They have paid me in gratitude. Gratitude is the currency. Who is this?
Y'all see
What's
this?
up? Hey, Gregory. Good to see you, Gregory.
Do y'all see this? What's going on? Shenanigans.
What are you trying to say about me, Joshua?
Nothing that you haven't.
Don't do that. Do not do that.
Let's get it. Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. Time for our roundtable discussion. Welcoming back one of my favorite group of individuals from Houston Millennials, Samantha Joseph. My apologies for calling you Samantha Jones last time. I don't know.
It's okay.
My Sex in the City was on my mind. Joshua Bergman, welcome back.
Thank you.
James Barnett,
Good to
good
be
to
here.
see you, Frau. And we have a new panelist here. Cameron, how you pronounce your last name?
Last name is Craddock.
Craddock. And welcome to the
Thank you.
Access
Nice to be
Houston
here.
Roundtable. A lot of things happened last weekend. I was on vacation, and so it was a repeat of the roundtable from last week and the week before. I had Fox News analyst Angela Box, who really lit the place up. It was very exhilarating. But as I was on vacation, partying in NOLA,
Oh my God.
I saw that when I woke up Sunday, so that it went down in Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee was on fire. These Milwaukee riots that had went on, and you know, from the story that I read, you know, black kid who was running from the police and, you know, was shot. I think I heard something prior, like the gas station that they set on fire was actually in retaliation because he shot some teen in the back like 3 times, and so that was the thing that made them want to set the gas station on fire. Now I think it was an auto parts store on fire, but what I found fascinating was that there was a battle between police and the citizens, like a shootout, kind of.
Yes.
And I was just taking it. Are you up on it, Samantha?
I was very up on this one. This one specifically because the dynamic was a little bit different. They were saying in Milwaukee that they felt like they definitely had to deal with some race issues there, but this time it was between a black officer and a black kid. And the officer in particular had a very, very bad record. Like, he had been going around shooting a lot of people, intimidating the neighbors, things like that, and essentially abusing his power as an officer. Like, he had made himself a dictator of that neighborhood, and people were definitely afraid of him. And this is the first time that it's really, I guess, come to light when people are out here rioting. And I mean, it's crazy. The story itself is just ridiculous. There's so many layers to it. So yeah, I'm definitely up on Milwaukee.
So can we all agree that the rioting was wrong, right?
The rioting
The
was
rioting
definitely
was
wrong.
wrong.
I don't support or condone violence, and especially in a community that is already struggling.
Exactly.
That definitely hurt the economy of that community.
I mean, the riots. You know, I want to quote Dr. King, but I can't remember the quote exactly. But you know, those folks rioting, that's just not something that just happened. I mean, you know, of course, we all know folks act out and tear up their own neighborhood for whatever categorically asinine reason they do that. But we all know that it's built up, pent up frustration of injustice and, you know, systematic oppression and all of that. It's just not, you know, cats ain't waking up one day like, hey, yo, we gonna burn down the hood just for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, even though rioting is totally wrong, but it's not that cutting dry when it comes to us and being upset.
I believe the quote was, "Writing is the language of the unheard."
Thank you.
There you go.
Right now.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I tried.
Write that one down.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, I think the writing overall, for me, I get y'all angry, but go do it somewhere else. Like, don't do it. I always just feel like if that's gonna
Don't
take
do it in my
place-
hood. Go
Yeah,
do it in the hood
right.
where you're mad that, you
or
know,
even
whatever.
protest though. If you're gonna protest where they can, like, where they will care
Exactly.
that you're at. Like protesting in your own hood or like rioting in your own. Don't nobody care that you tearing up your own stuff. Like, they just gonna make you look crazy on the news.
I just think
That's
it's
all.
crazy because they don't realize that when they do that, they're actually bankrupting small businesses, small owners, and people just like themselves.
Right.
And so that's where I'm like, nah. The
But to
rioting
play
like
devil's
that,
advocate,
no.
some of them are like, well, I don't own any of this stuff anyway, so what?
Yeah, but it's.
I mean,
still-
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I get it, I
It's
get it,
probably
but-
I'm thinking of a lot of people. Though. It's probably thinking of a lot of people. But like Milwaukee, I think it's nothing new. I mean, it's just another shooting of another black kid. But I think the ultimate difference in this one is that the officer was actually black himself. I think that's a huge. Like,
You know,
it's a huge change.
Yeah.
Shift.
It's going to be really interesting to see how things turn out, especially over the last few months. We've seen all these Blue Lives Matter things. And for the most part, it just happened to be mostly black against white. Well, in this case, like he just said, that this is a black cop. So it's going to be really interesting to see how many people are going to rally behind this cop or on the boy's side. You know, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see how it's going to play out in the media.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Something else that I found interesting that I read how the Chicago police chief wants to fire those officers that were involved in the Laquan McDonald shooting.
It's a good decision. Yeah. I mean, I saw the video of like the first video that came out, and you saw them on the scene, it's like right after it happened, warning each other about the body cameras. Like, you saw them like whispering to each other, you know, to be careful, to take care of their words, and to take care of like what they do next. So I mean, that's that already seems fishy. So I mean, there's no telling.
Well, I mean, good for Chicago police chief wanting to do that, but you know, you're a
wanting
year
to.
late and $1 million short.
You said wanted to.
Yeah.
Why hadn't you done it?
But well, I don't know.
I mean, you publicly expressed you want to fire somebody. They should be fired.
Mhm.
It's like, what's the hold up here?
That's a very, very tough thing. In fact, when I watched the video of the guy they were running with the kid, or he had been jumping over the fences and ran behind the house, and then kid gets shot, and then he goes to like kick the kid after he's already dead, and he's calling them all these expletives, and it's only kind of like after they shot him that they turn the body cameras on, and I think that's been the trend lately. You'll see cops that are like plugging and unplugging their body cameras. Even though it's an incident with the young white girl, she was, I guess, hopped up on some type of drugs or narcotics, and she's running from the cop. The cop shoots her, and then he turns his body camera on and goes, "Oh man, I shot her. It's too fishy." So I think there needs to definitely be accountability in the body cams. Body cams need to be always on, or else why are we paying for them?
Because you know, they even one of the cops when they stopped right there, he didn't. After it was all over, he stood up and he was like, "Did he shoot at us?" Like he didn't even know that the kid, shot or not. So they didn't even know whether or not he was armed. I mean, they killed him and he was bleeding out, and they had him handcuffed and was like still kicking him and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's I think overall like police training is like the key to quelling like some of what we're seeing. A lot of people say it's race, but I don't, like saying police are just racist. But I think most of all their training is
Yeah,
a
I
big
think
question.
it's a culture that exists within the different police departments across the country. I mean, they like as we've stated before. I mean, it's a brotherhood. It's like being in a fraternity. If you a noob or alpha or a sigma or omega, Q. I mean, it doesn't. It's that line of camaraderie, and I got your back because you're my brother. Now, does it make it right? No, absolutely not. I mean, we expect the same amount of responsibility from them that they are, demanding from us. But what we see is that it's a one-way street here when it comes. I mean, there are some cops out there who are just absolutely fabulous, and then there are some who believe that they are the law and above the law. But enough about police. Let's talk about the Olympics.
Yes, this is very
That girl
interesting.
magic.
Yeah, the Olympics have been quite very exciting.
Yes,
Just to witness this history, especially Wednesday night when if I can get all of that, Brianna Rollins,
Uh-huh.
yes, Nia Ali,
yes.
and
The track star.
Kathleen, what's her first name? Christy Kathleen.
Yeah.
Took gold, silver, and bronze in the 100
It was
meter
a close
hurdles.
call. It was a close call with that bronze. I was watching the TV. I was like, oh man, is she gonna make it? When that time posted, I was like, yes. It was awesome.
Yeah, I felt like I won the Olympics when I saw that. Like, I'm cheering them on like it was me. I was so excited to see them all cross that finish line. And, I mean, they were just like, man, I don't even know what they're doing out there training, how they're training, but they're doing an excellent job.
They are.
And then we have to talk
America's
about
doing an
our
excellent
Simones.
Yes.
Simone Manuel and the incredible Simone Biles.
Man, the girl's cold.
I mean,
Simone Manuels, that's my hood. Sugar Land. Okay, I'm a little further down, but,
Y'all in Fort Bend, right?
I'm in Fort Bend, though.
so
Like,
what is so fascinating for me with this Olympics is, seeing the Black Girl Magic, as Samantha
yes.
stated, and I'm on, social media and just seeing the different pictures that melt my heart of little black and brown girls. Like I seen one picture of, a girl, she had the broom in the middle of the living room in front of the TV, and she was like balancing on the broom. And then, when Simone Emanuel's won, the swimming, there was the other little girl that, she had on the swimsuit, and she had, like her armed up, like yay. And I'm like, see, this is so important for them to see themselves on TV and
matters.
to what did you say, Kevin?
Representation matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And for them to see that and to say like, oh, that can be me. I can do that. Or mommy, I want to do that.
I like how it brings attention to sports that normally not a lot of black people in.
Yeah.
I mean, how many black people do gymnastics, or do you see swimming? I know you did it, but there's not a lot of people, at least on a national stage, that have done it, and it's bringing more attention to black people on that stage doing those sports. When we think black athletes, you're going to think track or basketball at the Olympic level when you think black athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see them doing some sports that we normally don't see black athletes excelling at that level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dominating.
And dominating, yeah, because especially when it comes to swimming, like I don't know if you kids out there that are up this early know, but there seems to be a history with black folks and swimming and swimming pools that
I'll be
goes.
honest, I'm one of them. I can't.
But I mean, not only from a psychological standpoint of what the water and the swimming or whatever it is, but also the racial annotations or connotation that's attached to that. You know what I mean? If we can go back to when Dorothy Dandridge dipped her toe in the swimming pool and they drained the whole damn pool.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a waste of water.
You know what I mean? Like back then. So it's so much. It's so many layers to it, and it's such bigger than.
I don't know. I'm just like listening to it. It makes me really excited. Like they said, I didn't learn to swim until my last year at U of H, and that was only because I felt like I paid for this facility and I needed to then use it. That's the only reason why I learned how to swim. But seeing it on the national stage and just globally is so huge. When I was growing up, I was a gymnast, but the only people I really had to look up to were like the Mary Lou's of the world. You didn't see black people out there very often. There was maybe one.
So wait, you didn't come up in the Dominique Dawes era?
I knew
Like
about
20
Dominique Dawes,
about
but
20
of
years
course,
ago?
when you saw the media, it was always like Mary Lou, or one other gymnast. But you didn't see Dominique Dawes quite as much when I was growing up, and
Really? Wow, that's unfortunate.
very unfortunate.
I want to
Yeah,
bring attention to the quarter miler from South Africa who broke the world record in the 400 meters.
Mm.
I used to be a quarter miler, and the thought of somebody going 43:03 in the 400, he ran that whole race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there watching like this dude sprint on the backstretch, and I'm like, whatever happened? Coach always say, chill on the backstretch, save it for the last. This dude just sprinted the entire race, blew everybody out of the water.
Yeah.
Everybody thinking this is supposed to be between America and Jamaica, and just on that last 100 left them in lane 8.
Yeah.
And to see it from South Africa, like they're normally nowhere in the equation.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's what the Olympics is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Like that athlete who defies all adversity. 'Cause it happened in tennis for the first time. I think it was Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
They won gold in women's singles, and that's
Oh, wow.
like Puerto Rico and tennis is. I don't know any good Puerto Rican.
And also for the first time since they won, the Williams sisters were knocked out.
Oh,
So,
Man, I was so
gosh.
upset about that.
Serena
was
in the
heartbreaking.
singles and them with the in the doubles. Yeah, that was heartbreaking. But of course, you can't go through an Olympics without a little, debauchery.
Right, of course.
As Twitter has created the hashtag Loptygate.
Yes.
Oh.
Ryan Lochte and these U.S. swimmers claiming they got robbed.
I'm gonna need them
by-
to just be
privilege.
Let's just say
whatever you need to do to get them out of here. That's ridiculous.
Ryan's got history of being considered the dumb one, but right now he's the smartest man in this situation
Yeah,
because
he
he
got
got
out
the
of
hell out of Rio when
Right.
getting was good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those other two are stuck.
Passport in hand. He's
Right.
like, he's
Well,
back on the plane.
I don't think the U.S. will let two of its Olympians stay over there for too long. I mean, I don't see them being over there for a long period of time. I just don't see that. I mean, they're gold medal Olympians.
The defense isn't that serious to hold them over for that long anyway, but just thinking if it's you, I'd have got out of Rio like that day.
Yeah, like he did.
He did. Those other, I don't know what kept those other two, but they ain't some hot water because they stayed.
But you have to consider there was a gymnast that was kicked out because they did some heavy drinking. So to go out and get into a brawl or into a fight and then lie about it, like they're so lucky that they weren't removed from the Olympics and have all their medals stripped of
They
them.
put their whole career in jeopardy.
They
There's talks
definitely
of
did.
banning them from life
Yeah.
for USA swimming.
Well, I think the story right now as it stands is like shaky, but I don't believe that they are completely lying, because there were some
There was a
something
gun
happened
pointed
with them
out.
being locked in a restroom, and then someone pointing a gun at them, and then that's
The
why
story
they
has
broke the door
changed so
down.
much. I don't even
Yeah.
know what
Yeah, it's
to
hard to
believe at
keep
this
up.
point.
Yeah.
It's very hard to keep
I
up
think
with.
that's the problem. And then you have Ryan Lochte back here, who is acting like nothing's happening, talking about how he's changing his hair back
He
to
home.
whatever color it was. Yeah,
He
he's
home.
good.
He ain't got to work.
Rio's
We not
asking
sending
to
him
come
back. So-
and he's like, cool. Like we're good. So
There's so much trouble. Like, why didn't you just tell the truth?
Right.
It's
I-
not that hard to.
I don't know, but
Okay.
I wish Donald Trump would tell the truth and just admit that he doesn't want to be president. Just leave the campaign. But I get it. He doesn't want to seem a loser. So some more shakeups in the Trump campaign.
I'm so ready for this.
Of course, first, one of his spokesperson, Katrina Pearson, saying that,
Katrina Pearson.
Obama
It's his
invaded Afghanistan.
Yes.
I'm like, lady,
and she said his
you're
policies
stupid.
got the Khan's son killed.
His
which is
policy got
Not
absolutely
true.
not true. Their son died in
No,
2004.
right.
What was getting me on that, it wasn't even the dumb statements. It was the reaction to CNN anchor when she said it. Like that look of just like, are you serious? And then he gave her opportunity after opportunity to walk it back.
Right.
Like, he was being nice. He was like, you mean President Bush? You mean President? Like, just walk it back. And she wouldn't take it. And then she was just digging the hole deeper. And that's what had me laughing.
I'm surprised that they're shocked. Why are you shocked? To me, though, what's funny is I think that Sarah Palin is sitting back right now and having a big ass laugh at this, because when that was her, I feel like she was doing some of the same things that he's doing, saying stupid stuff, not knowing foreign policy whatsoever, and people just demolished her for it. And she had no chance. She sunk their campaign because of it.
But
And with Donald Trump, he does it with impunity. And
Trump's lawyer made it worse yesterday, though. Did y'all see the video?
No.
Well, there was a video. He was doing an interview on CNN, and she said, all the polls have your client down. And he's like, says who? She's like, all the polls. He's like, some of them? All of them. He's like, says, and he kept saying, says who? And she's like, all the polls show your client is down. And he just, back and forth, all he's saying is, says who?
It's
Oh,
funny because
man.
all Trump used to say is the polls say.
Well, the crazy thing is that doesn't even end it, because then Giuliani comes out and says, "Hey, I blame Barack Obama
for 9/11
and Clinton
Right.
for all of the terrorist attacks," and forgets that 9/11 happened during the Bush administration.
How you
Did he
erase
say
an
that?
entire
Yeah,
terrorist
he said
attack?
before.
He said Clinton
Obama,
and Obama were the reasons for all of the all of the most terrorist attacks that have happened have been under their administration. So under Clinton and under Obama. However, 9/11 happened under Bush, the biggest.
Not under Bush, under him. He was the mayor of New
That's
York
true.
City.
That's very true. Under him. So to be the mayor of New York City and to blatantly seemingly forget about 9/11, and then go forward to blame it on Barack Obama, it's like I'm just waiting on them to be like, haha, pranks.
You're
Well,
right.
Well,
I think it kind of already has. Here is
The inside job conspiracy started. I'm sorry.
incredible open letter, article, blog, if you will, from producer filmmaker Michael Moore on his website. Yeah, I like Michael Moore. So Michael Moore basically is saying he's like, I don't know this to be a fact. I just know it's true type of deal. Okay.
Okay.
That Donald Trump really does not want to be president. What it was that he wanted to run. He only thought it was going to be an 8-month thing because he was trying to leverage with NBC to get more money for The Apprentice. And so what better way to show NBC Universal that I am the man by running for president? And so that's what he did. Things got too real. He started winning, and then he was stuck. And he just kept saying, and he's purposely saying these outlandish, racist, misogynistic, xenophobic things so he can get kicked off the ticket for the Republican Party to withdraw his nomination, get somebody else. That way, he won't seem like a big loser once November comes and, the country votes for Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's an incredible, piece by Michael Moore, and it makes all the sense. Like when he started out, he's like, I'm not saying that, I heard this through, you know, some of the same lawyers, stylists, and something else that we have. I'm not saying that I heard this in the hallways of agencies and in the halls of NBC Universal, but ABCDEFG. It makes all the sense in the world, and I believe it. And then he mentioned a moment at a rally where he came out, he just didn't look happy, and the look on his face was, oh, damn, like, I really have to do this. Like, it's real. The man doesn't want to do it. Even his own daughter is like right now, at this very moment, on a yacht somewhere with some guy. Like, she's even like, all right, Dad, I'm chucking the deuce on you, bro.
I have to believe this, though. Like, I want to believe this because, like you said, it makes 100 total percent. Like,
it makes sense to me.
Sense.
Yeah.
And I want to believe in it, but sad thing is, it's like, it makes the American people look really, really
Stupid.
dumb.
Well, I mean,
Like, not smart.
Come on. If this is the honesty hour, Americans are stupid. We aren't.
According
pretty
to
sad.
the polls and all of the data on education, this happens to be true.
Yeah. It
Yes.
absolutely does. And
Yes.
so, having an interesting conversation with some great American people while I was on vacation in New Orleans at one of the bars on Bourbon Street. So, you know, the spirits were flowing, and you know, a couple of them were Trump supporters, and I sincerely asked them, like, why. What is it about Donald Trump? Like, honestly, and I mean, and we had a candid conversation, and you know, it's the same thing that all the loyal Trump supporters say. You know, I think he is going to, you know, do great for the country and, you know, bring jobs back that have been overseas. He's a businessman. You know, he fought hard to get what he got, and I was like, well, you're nice, and thank you for the shot, but no. You're wrong. He did not work to get to where he was. He was born
Got $1 million
into
from his
wealth.
daddy.
Like, he got that money from his dad,
Yeah.
which he lost and filed for bankruptcy, and then got more money from his friends in New York, lost that, filed again, had all of these businesses, be it the hotels, the casino, the epic fraud of a university, this real estate university, Trump University, like everything that he has had has gone down the drain, and he's saying all of this stuff, and so I don't get why you would want this man to be president to make America great. Like, his own clothes aren't even made here.
They're not.
So I don't understand that. Well, you know,
His wife wasn't made here.
right. Well, the one thing that, you know, I just really believe that he's going to bring, you know, these jobs. I said, look, with all due respect, I think your connection with Donald Trump. I was like, were you born into wealth? No. You got a lot of money? No. I live a pretty modest life. Okay. So again, I don't see the correlation. I said, you know what I think it is subconsciously, and please don't take this wrong. I'm just being honest. And, you know, we're buzzy. I said, I think that you all agree with his racist and misogynistic remarks, and that reflects of how you probably feel deep down inside. Not to say that makes you a bad person, okay? I'm just saying that that's the only common thread that I really see with the rest of you all, and when I look at it from a psychological and a logical standpoint. And they were quiet, and I could see that I made them think.
Was it marinating?
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you went to New Orleans, because the weekend before that I was actually in New Orleans, and I had some very similar experiences. And not only that, but it was brought to me because I actually went on a tour of the Treme. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Treme. Treme used to be predominantly black, and I go on this tour, and there's like all these white people and all this gentrification happening, and then they tell us about how the older people are moving out of those neighborhoods because so many people have moved in and the home value is going up so high that they can't afford their property taxes anymore, so they're losing their homes. And I thought that was so interesting because you hear the same exact sentiment from those people. I'm voting for Trump. Trump is the guy who's going to do it. He's going to bring our economy up. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. But then at the same time, they don't even have their yuppies, but they don't have the bank account to match their sentiments.
They say that he worked hard, though. I don't get that. I want to know what he had to do to work to get. You know what I do for my daddy right now for $1 million? Like some stuff. Where I need that. So I don't. And it was probably more than that. Like, he was born into, you know, like what we would probably consider extreme wealth. So I don't see how he worked for anything, and what makes him a good businessman. I mean, he's lost a lot of companies.
And in fact, I like your wording. Like you said, wealth. He's not rich. He's wealthy.
Yeah, that's
he's
old
gonna,
money.
That's old money.
Oh my.
His
Right.
suit is more than
Right.
what we're making a month. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I'm
And
like,
even further to
years
push
ago.
the whole Michael Moore theory, you know, his new campaign managers, Stephen Batten that runs Breitbart News. I don't know if you're familiar with Breitbart News, the most far right. They're so far right that they're left. I mean, it's incredible. Like, and I remember them coming about, you know, when President Obama got into office. So now he's the campaign chief executive, and this other lady is now the new campaign manager, and so he's flipping it out. And I don't know what's going to happen between now and the first debate.
Yeah.
But we will be watching.
I'm looking at this from just a
Oh,
biased
Lord.
partisan standpoint. His candidacy is the best thing for the Democratic Party.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
He's only up by 6 points in Texas. He's now put the state in contention,
which is great.
which is Texas used to be. You don't
It
even
used to
send
be
campaign. You don't send
red.
nobody to Texas if you're a Democrat. You
Right.
just it's a flyover to you. You know you're going to lose it.
Right.
And now they're going to start flooding money into the state because we're now in contention. He's only up by 6 points.
You know what? Polls are good. Love polls. They're great. Gallup has a good one. But it depends on who's going to come out and vote on November. Like
Right.
in November,
They're not
whatever it
absolute.
is. Like
Yeah.
if Democrats do not vote at the capacity that Republicans do. And these
True.
people are fanatical about
But you gotta realize
Donald Trump.
these are Texas Democrats, and Texas Republicans. And a lot of them are followers of Ted Cruz. And Ted's already said he's not
He's
voting for
already-
Trump,
right,
and
so
they're going
they're
to
gonna
follow
follow
Ted
suit.
and they're going to vote down ballot.
They're gonna
That's where
follow
we're going to
suit.
have the problem.
Hey, listen, guys, we got to wrap up here. But one thing that I saw before we started this, that the Justice Department has announced that it is going to end its use of private prisons.
Good thing.
About
Yes.
So wonderful.
I've been so ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah,
So ready.
you know, they found that there are way too many, like the security and the safety levels aren't as top notch as government-run prisons, and so I was like, good for you, DOJ.
It's a step in the right direction.
It is,
It's a step in
definitely.
the right direction, and to me, it's endemic of how the Obama administration has been. I think
Yeah.
it's some of the things that he's doing, like as he's leaving.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for coming back. I know you guys. Of course, you're going to be back. Yeah. Houston Millennials, Samantha Joseph. Thank you, James. Thank you, Joshua Cameron. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Bye, Facebook Live.